Resume recording. Let me admit all others. So there are certain people, those who have answered very correctly and very good way. I will suggest you that you go through Manish and Vishal answers, obviously, because these are guys have also Tanishka's answer were also good. Sujit was also good. Bhavesh Tiwari was also good. So you guys can check their answers and see this is this is this is the thing that don't want. When you write something like Diksha, when you write something now, you should at least check it in notebook. Okay, you did everything. Miss, you guys have done a lot of mistakes, like errors. Like this guy, he has written print P capital, here also P capital. Why? If you would have done it yourself, you wouldn't have get an error, and then you would have not done that. So just know that learning something and writing the codes is not the only thing. You should write it correct also. Means I have to cross check you, some of you I have to actually edit their codes. So this one got very much copied to a lot of people, this one also. So check that on your own time. This was very brilliant answer from Vishal. That's why I also mentioned in the group. See the way he answers, and he was the one of the first one to answer. Very earlier he answered, means after an hour or something. He even put two methods here. So and obviously I haven't taught you the for a while loop, but still he used that. So he must be learning on his own also. That's good also. That's what I look for. But also everyone who answered the all 44, 45 ones, those very much. Thank you very much that you were so much patient enough to learn, and then you go through the assignment. Those who didn't answer, try to learn from your friends as well. If any issue is there, ask me, something like that. Then let's stop this now. There's no need of this. Okay, so let's start again from where we left. Let's do a quick revision till what now we have learned. I will open the chat window here. Hold on. Okay, so till now what we have learned, we got an introduction class first on what is Python, why Python, how Python, where to study Python, and what are the important dependencies of it, what is the future of it, scope of it, the very first day class. Second day we did installations of Visual Studio Code and Anaconda, and others I also mentioned like Sublime Text, Atom for Mac users, and also mentioned Notepad Plus. These all are very handy software. Then we moved from Anaconda to Jupyter Notebook to try everything and learn everything over there. First thing we learned about is comments and headings. Comments were what we when we put a hash before any sentences. Okay, and headings can be created using Jupyter Notebook drop down menu from the cell. I think I might not have shown that today. Yes, till there. I will show you it today. Okay. Then we taught also variables, data types, strings, integers, operators, list and tuples. Till now we have reached till list and tuples. Okay. 31 is coming. Why don't you guys come at time here? So integer, everyone has is clear. I hope everyone understand what is an integer, what is a floating type number, what is a string. These are all of data types that we understand. We understand declaring variables. It's very easy. We also understood that what we shouldn't do while declaring the variable name, like don't use a number to start with or something. That 5 things that I told you. And then we came to the operators where we learned about various operators. We also got stuck at and or operator, but it was just a digital operator. Today I will start basically with basic few points, a very basic thing that I actually didn't taught you earlier. Actually, you should know this from earlier. It's a very 11th and 12th thing that that we have. Okay, but let's see how you answers that. Then we learned about least and tuples. Least, obviously, we learned what were the least features. It has all the features. Okay, what was in the tuples? We had that screen actually already. Let me go back to that screen so that you can get a revision of it. I hope you doesn't learn on your own. So this screen actually least has or is ordered, is values changeable, has duplicate members, is denoted by square bracket. Then we talked about tuples, those who are on which it is not changeable. Then we talked about dictionaries where duplicate members are not allowed and is ordered. And then finally we talked about sets which have only one property, that its value can be changed. We discussed one thing, that dictionary and sets have curly bracket, and the tuples have round bracket, least have square brackets. To fetch the items of the least, we also use square bracket. To fetch the items of the tuples, we also use square bracket after the definition. So this is a quick recap, just a quick recap. I won't waste too much time on it so that we can move forward. So I will just straight away move to the point. We also talked about this range of indexing, so you remember that. Most of you use that, so I hope you remember that. So I will not waste your time and my time on to this. Tuples we discussed everything. This actually I changed then from round bracket to square bracket, how to fetch the items. Then this is the revision. Now let's start something very unique today. Okay, tell me the answer of this, or whatever the next coming on your screen is. What will be the output A? Just type. No one knows the answer of it. Or more. It's only Aditya Singh has answered till now. It's pass, int value 0. So it won't print out anything. Mohit. 0. Branchpal power 0. Okay. 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. Everyone, anyone has any other answer than 0.3? Okay. I also think that the answer should be 0.3. Okay. Tanishka and Sanskar Negi. The actual answer is this. The actual answer, let's go to the Jupyter notebook that I have already opened for you. I'm doing the same thing. The output is this. Yes, Sandeepal, you guys did it, but why? Why is it not 0.3? Why is it not 0.3? It's a very small thing actually, but it's all just the result of mathematical operations in double. Great principles. Abhishek Mandloi. Great principles. Great theories. When I was a kid, one of my faculty told me, whenever you think of something, think of the things that are uh, very minute, very small, means very basic. The basic things actually solves this. This is things we have learned actually. Not in my class. You guys have already learned. You all have forgotten. When I had forgotten recently, I again seen this problem, so I thought that why not tell this to the class. It's a very important thing. Even I will tell you that this answer, that 0.300004, it changes for Java, changes value for C++, it changes value for C Sharp. The value is different for each. But in that detail we will not go. We will go in detail that why 0.3 is not the answer. Let's come to this. Let's understand that. Okay. So I will move to the next screen. Let's take an example. 263.3, we want to convert it to binary. Okay, so there are two parts. It is divided into two parts. One is 263, that is an integer, and 0.3, that is a floating number. We can say this, correct? We can say this. So how will we get the binary value of 263? We will divide it by 2 and get the remainder here. And we will keep on dividing, we will keep on dividing, keep on dividing, keep on dividing, keep on dividing until we reach to this result. That 2 divided by 1 cannot be done, so it will be nothing is divisible. So and remainder remains 1. So this will be what? Sorry. Clear. This will be what? This will be the value of 263 in binary, you can say, right? But what will we do for 0.3? What we will do for 0.3? This is what I have written over here. This binary format of 263. Yes, binary form of Rishi. It's 263. Then how will we get the binary form of binary form of 0.3? We have read this. Means we have done this. Yes, Aditi. We will multiply that by into 2. Yes, Ajiz. Yes, we will multiply that by 0.2. Let's do that. Okay, let's start doing that. Okay. So what we do into 2, we do it's get 0.6. Then we get 0.6 into 2, we do 1.2. Then 1 will be the remainder. This let me annotate again. This 1 will be coming here, and 0.2 will come again. Okay. So so now what will happen is 0.2 into 2, 0.4, then 0.4 into 2, 0.8, then 0.8 into 2, 1.6. Now again what will happen is draw. This 1 will come up here, correct? Now again this 0.6 will go there. 0.6 into 1 will come 1.2, and then again 1 will go there. Let me just mark it again. This will come up here. Then again the same thing will happen, 0.2, 0.8, and this. Now you can see this from here. It is into an endless loop. It will keep coming like this. It will keep coming like this. Means from here 0.6 into 0.2, and this line and this line are exactly same. This is an entire loop. It's the endless loop, right? So what will happen is that it will keep on looping it. So when we do 0.3, it's not 0.3. It is 3 divided by 10 actually, and that's how the math is processed in the computer's mind. And it will till where it will go. This loop will where it will go. It could go to infinite. But if you are using a 32-bit system, it will go till 32-bit. Means to 32-bit precision. If you are using a 64-bit processor, it will go to 64-bit precision, and it will give the output like this, something like this. Now this output is very important. This is the reason why this 0.3 eventually, when you will add this means same thing you will do for 0.1, 0.1, and 0.1. This loop will come up, and when you will add that, it will not come to 0.3, it will come to something 0.3004 that was actually on the previous screen. This is it. When it will be reconverted, means when we 0.1 will be taken, and using this mapping we will do. So something like this digital value will appear, and that digital value plus digital value plus digital value we will do. It will not be equal to this 0.3, and it will be actually equal to this. And this 4 is actually rounded up. Rounded up. How is it rounded up? It is rounded up by our. Computer according to the precision. That much it can handle. That much this much precision my computer can handle. It could go. If a supercomputer was there, it will be more. Recently, actually, I was doing a project for a client. It is based on. It is something based for ISRO, actually, mapping data actually for various planets and all. I was doing that, and there I also had this problem that it was not coming accurate when the things are at the speed of light, distances are measured at the speed of light. Is this getting multiplied by 3 into 10 to the power 8 or something more bigger numbers? So then when these things happen, then error margin, error percentage comes up. That's why you might have heard recently that asteroid was going to hit Earth on 29th of April, and people were speculating that it will hit or not hit or not hit. Even the computers were people didn't have trusted on computers. They were skeptic about it, that yes, it could happen, it could hit it. And India world had a very narrow escape, a very narrow escape from that asteroid. Actually, if you see the curve of it, it's somewhere on WhatsApp also. Even I seen someone was showing me a WhatsApp message showing that imagery. So what happens is that because of these minor errors, there is a very these minor calculation errors creates various bigger errors. That's why no one can be assured of it, at what will be the error margin and how much precision that we can attain with the floating terminal. And this is called floating type error. You should remember this, because it's a very good question for interviews as well. I was reading then after that is it a question that is often asked during interviews? Yes, the people usually ask this, that what will be the output of that, and everyone replies with 0.3, because at that time you doesn't have even a computer. Okay, means they can give you different examples also, 1.1 plus 1.1 plus 1.1, and you will answer 3.3, and eventually it's not. Okay, they will just write it there. Okay, give it at the maximum precision of a computer. So you were supposed to answer it according to 32-bit or 64-bit. That way you can answer. So this is a thing that I wanted to just explain it. I skipped that entirely in during the floating point number. Even I didn't remember that I should tell you this, but this is a floating point error, and it's a preparatory for you for those interview examinations that usually happen, and there usually these trick questions are asked. So you should remember that. Okay. Now let's move on to the topics that we have. We have already discussed. Let me make it small. Okay, it's I think smallest. Okay, so now since we have learned list and tuples. Next we will learn about sets today. Then we will learn about dictionaries. Let's see if possible we can move toward dictionary itself today. I will try to be fast. You guys try to be fast as well, because there is a lot of task that is missing, and already yesterday's class was not there. So I am trying to do either two things. Is anyone having problem with a 2-hour class? Means someone has any other class after 4:30? They can let me know in the chat. Any other type of class or activity? Not today, means tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. I don't want you to guys to come on Sunday. Actually, also leave me alone on Sunday. No, those who have a problem, just write it after 6 p.m. I want to restart the class on the very same day again. Means not today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Can you guys spare after 4:30 half an hour more? Means the classes will be 3 to 5 p.m. If anyone has problem, just write it down. If anyone has problem, because I want to move it fast. I want to complete that sets dictionary or something. If anyone has problem, just message me in the personal. I will not do that. And today I wanted to actually introduce you to one kid actually from of your age, but he is actually not available right now. Three peoples have raised their hands. They have issues. You can let me know. There's no such thing. We can do we can do that on Sunday, or even I can extend the classes after 26. I will teach you on 27. If the see whatever I want to teach, until this you reach at that point, I will not end this classes. Don't worry about that. So it doesn't matter. It is a 22-day class was or 24-day class. It will be. It's my problem. I will work on this. That doesn't matter. Okay, so let me know if you have any problem till night, so that yes, for tomorrow I can plan, or otherwise we will do it on Sunday or something other. Okay, so okay, sorry, not the chat. Yeah. So what is Python sets? Python sets is a collection which is unordered, unindexed, and no duplicate members. In Python, sets are written with curly brackets. Its values are changeable. So there is only one feature that is available with the sets, that is it is changeable. Like, what does that mean? That what or what does unordered? One more thing I wanted to tell you is, I am planning a half-an-hour session for those who have problem understanding English, only English. Okay, I am planning a half an hour session for them only. So those who you guys have problem or do want to do a quick revision, there will not be a question and answer something kind of thing. I will be doing a quick revision recap for the Hindi. Means those who are comfortable in Hindi, not in English actually. So I will do that for them. Means mostly Hindi will be used in that 1 hour or half an hour, whatever the lecture will be. It will be a speed up lecture. Will not be like what will be the answer, what will be the answer. It won't be interactive one. So I will do that for them. Okay, let's come to the sets again. Sets is a collection which is unordered, unindexed, and no duplicate. What does this mean? Means we got that Python sets are written in curly bracket. Okay, we got that. It's written in curly bracket. Fine. It's in curly bracket. It could be. We can also say that it could be a curly bracket, means it could be set a dictionary. But still now we are only those who know. I'm not telling them. But those who doesn't know, we as seen on that screen, the curly bracket could be a set or a dictionary. How can we identify? We will understand that when we will introduce a dictionary, how to identify that. Right now, let it be set or dictionary. So it is set. I'm telling you, it's a set. Understand that. Now, what does this mean? Unordered, unindexed, and no duplicate members. What does that? What does this mean? Unordered means there is no ordering. Is there no positive indexing there? Is there no negative indexing there? Yes, there is no indexing here. There is no ordering of it. We cannot say that it is at 0 position, it is at 1 position, it is at 2 position, and it doesn't have any duplicate members. Means there can't be two apple into it. There can't be two banana. There can't be two cherry into it. Okay, so these things actually identify it as a set. Okay, so whenever we will write the set, it will have this feature. If we will see two apples, it won't be a set. Obviously, it can't be a set. Okay, in what condition there could be duplicate member? We will see that also very today. Then unordered and unindexed. Let's understand this. When we will print this row, means we will define this row and then we will print this row. Again, I have also written capital P, but this is because of the PowerPoint. So if I will run it once, it may give me apple, banana, and cherry. And if I will rerun it, it might give me banana, apple, and cherry. So it could give me any result. Maybe in the third time it could give me cherry, apple, banana. It could give me cherry, banana, and apple. In the reverse order. It could give me anything. That's why it is unordered and unindexed. You cannot understand how can it be done. Okay, what will be the output? So let's come to the notebook actually. So this is what it is. Let's run this. We have defined a row. Means actually it should be set, but okay, I have written row. Means it is row underscore 1 is equal to curly bracket apple, banana, and cherry. And if I'm printing this, it will print. See, I have given the input as apple, banana, and cherry, but it is giving output cherry, apple, and banana. If I will rerun it again, I will rerun it. Okay, it is giving again the same. It could give me any other thing also. So it's random. It's not necessary that it will always give cherry, it will always give apple, it will always give banana. It's what the property of it. Okay, if you will loop through it also, means even we have not got introduced to the loop, but it's very simple one. For x in row 1, x is what? X is any number. So for the, it will face the first item, it will print, see, it should print apple first, it should print banana first, it should print cherry first. So it is not printing in dot order, it is printing in any xyz order. So what is the output? This is the output. Okay, now how can we check that an item is present in it or not? Means this is row 1 and this is apple, banana and cherry. For print banana in row 1, what will be the output? Sorry, you guys should have, what will could be the output of it? True. Okay. Yes, it will be true. If we have written something x and would have run it, it will have written false because it didn't find that element into it. But it still didn't returned us the index of it, because index doesn't exist in sets, as we already talked. Now, can we do this? Let's try this. That if x is equal to apple, banana and cherry, x is equal to uh, x is square bracket 1 is equal to kiwi, and we print the value of x, what will be the output? It will give an error. It will give an error. Yes, it will give an error. Why? Because in the very presentation we learned about this is unordered and unindexed. Then how can you say that at one position is something? Because one is undefined for it. Sets object doesn't support in item assignment. It is clearly written that items cannot be assigned to the objects of set. We cannot do that. Okay, so this is a very easy example. If we go to the next slide, if we want to access the item for a row in x, if we write it, it could give anything during different iterations. Okay, so one thing you should remember, that you cannot access items in a set by referring to an index. Since the sets are unordered, the items has no index. You cannot do this. It will always create error. Okay, so what can we do this? Can we do this? This one. Yes, no, yes. Next one will be no. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, it can be done, because what we are trying to do is we are trying to we are passing this. Why, Priya Kumari, you have joined here? uh, what is we are doing is we are passing this x and then converting it into a list. Okay, so this list will be converted something like this or anything like that. Then at one position of that list we will change it into kiwi. Okay, and then we will again convert that y into x into a set, and that will be x again, and we are printing that out. And it could be in any order. That's what we are doing. That if we will print the type of x, it will again show that it is a class. Okay, so once the set is created, you cannot change its item, but you can add new items also. Okay, this is what we need to understand. Okay, suppose we want to add means as we actually discussed in the presentation, we that its values are changeable. One thing we understood that, but can we add the item or not? Let's understand that here. Okay, so when to add in an item, we can use a method called as add method. Okay, Just simply put the row, add oranges, and what will be the output then? What will be the output of this? Add an if you will use this add command works. I'm telling you it works. So there's no glitch into that. I'm not testing you for that. It would be random. Great. Yes, Rishi. Yes, Aman. Yes, yes, yes. It will be random because we doesn't know where the oranges will go. It is adding at a random. It could add at any place. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. Now we can add multiple items also. In that, what we have to do, we have to create it as a list. Means we have to enter it as a list. Multiple values can be entered, but see, it's actually a list. Okay, so we can add multiple values also, and see it finally get converted into a using this update command. We add this list into it, but the final output is what? It's a set. Again, set. We can get the length of the set as well, the same ways that we used to get using len command. The built-in len command is always handy. It will give us the length of the length of it. To remove an item, we can use the remove command or discard. Another new command has come up for you guys, like row underscore one apple banana cherry and row underscore one dot remove banana. It will remove banana from it. Okay, now if what will happen if I will put again that xxxxx, what will happen? Yes, it will give us an error because actually this value it didn't found. It's like same thing that we wanted to find the item, this print banana in row one, check if banana is present. So we cannot check that because it's not present there. It will eventually create an error for us. So it will not print out anything. But if we remove something that is present in that item, in that set, it will delete that item. Okay. Now, note, this is very important. If the item to remove does not exist, remove will raise an error. Okay. This is what I actually wanted to show you. Note, if the item to remove does not exist, remove will raise an error. One thing I actually also wanted to show you, so, like this is called heading. Okay. Now, how it is created? Let's create this. Just copy, like write it down like this and hi. Okay, and there is this option, you can see this code. You can click this and click on heading. It will prompt you. Okay, and just run that cell, so it will become a heading. Okay, one thing more you can do, you can remove that hash and keep it as a heading mode. uh, Sorry, and hello all. If I will write this and create this as a heading and then run this, what it is doing, it is creating a heading and a subheading also. Okay, so this is what actually I didn't told you earlier when we were discussing comments, and also this is short lecture for that. Again, let's come back to the topic. Now if the item we did it, now there is another method that is called a discard method. Using this method, we can also remove the items. Like here we remove the banana. Okay, it same works as the remove method. If it doesn't it will be removing whatever is we have passed into it. Now what will happen is when we will put xxxx into it, it will print out the entire it will print out the entire set, but it is not raising an error. Unlike remove command, there was in the remove command, it used to raise an error. Means if we have put in it here xxxxx, and it will create an error. But when we put that xxx or any other value that is not present in the set, it is not creating error, rather than it is printing out the set. So discard method has this one limitation, or you can say this method is better because finally we wanted to print out the row. What is the use of this command when something is not present? Okay, it is still at least is printing out something. So sometimes you get to use discard command, sometimes you get to use a remove command. Now if the okay, I've written this already. Note, if the item doesn't exit it, if the item to remove does not exist, discard will not raise an error. Now what will the output of this pop command? I'm printing X and printing row 1 also. Remember, I'm a printing X also, means the value of X after pop. AB, BA, Aman Gupta, you got both the answers. See, first let's print out the output. You can see this X row 1 pop. It's randomly popping out the things. That's what I have written. You can use pop command to remove an item, but this method will remove the last item. Remember, the sets are unordered, so you will not know which item get removed. Okay, so this is what exactly the thing is. It removes the items and then prints out the one that is being removed. Okay, what we are doing is we are putting whatever is removed X pop using row underscore 1 dot pop. We are putting it in X and printing out that. So cherry is actually removed. It is removing the last element. It's not compulsorily that it will remove the same thing. Okay, so this is very important that you can using the remove pop command, you will remove the last item, but since sets are unordered, you will not know which items will get removed. Then there is another method that we have already tried and tested thing, that is clear command. What will clear command do? Clear command will clear out the thing and it will just print out a set, a blank set. Okay, so it methods empties the set. We are trying to make it fast so that we can start dictionary something in the dictionary. It's very important to learn dictionaries because it's something like JSON. Okay, it's very cool thing, and JSON is the most used right now in the industry. The del keyword. Okay, what does del keyword will do? The del keyword will what do? It will pass that set object does not support item deletion. What? Why? Because we written this. We written it in a square bracket. Again, it is unordered, unindexed. Then how can we delete something? How can we delete something from second index position? Okay, but what will happen if we don't pass this? Now, see the error. Okay, hold on. Let me check. Let me do this first. You can see this. It is saying that on this arrow is showing that at fifth number line. This is fifth number line. First, second, third, fourth, fifth line. This first, second, third is row 1. Fourth is blank. Fifth is del. It is showing that del row underscore 1 2 1 square 2 square bracket 2 is giving a type error. Set object does not support item deletion. Okay, but what it's true, it is unordered, it is unindexed, it shouldn't delete. Okay, now if we remove this, what it will do? It will delete the entire set. It will delete the entire set, but on the very seventh line, it is trying to print that set that has been deleted. So it will cause an error, but the error position has shifted from 5 to 7 and saying row 1 row name row underscore 1 is not defined. So we have already tried that, but just to remember that in this case, we cannot use this. We cannot use indexing because it is unordered and unindexed. I will keep on repeating this so that it is fitted in your mind. So that it's for these very important basics points, you doesn't have to fetch your notes or you doesn't have to go and check a YouTube video for that. Okay. The del keyword will delete the set immediately. Now let's come to very important things that we have done already. There are several ways to join two or more sets. One is a union method, the other is an update method. Now if we will try this union method, what it will do, randomly you can see this. First it has written 1 or 2 from set 2, then it has randomly taken B. That's what sets are. See, this is why this is where you see that sets are random. So it has printed B, then it is printing 3, then it is printing A. It is printing in no order. It is printing in any haphazard manner that it could print. Okay. then there is a method called update also. Update method does the same. It updates the means whatever we have written. We have to set one dot update set two. It doesn't matter for him. It is updating the set two first, first two item of the set two. Then it is giving one item of set one. Then it is giving third item of the set two. Then it is giving next two item of the set one. So it is unordered. That's why it is doing that. So these two methods are done to create new sets. But again, remember that the newly created set will have any random property. Okay. One thing that yes, you should remember, I forgot to tell that. Note that both union and update method will exclude any duplicate member. Let me show you that. Suppose that we have another C here. Okay. Suppose that we have another C here, and we will print it out. See, there is two C here, but there is only one C in the output. It removed the duplicate member. So as we already learned here, that there are no duplicate members. Okay, there shouldn't be any duplicate members, as we have already read this thing. So it's just following that. It will not allow any duplicate member into that. Okay, same thing if we will do, suppose we put a 1 into it, then also there is only one here. There is not two ones. So one thing also we got clear, that both union and update method will exclude any duplicate members. Now there is important question: can we get duplicate members? Yes or no? Who thinks that duplicate members is a yes, and who thinks it's a no? No, no. Let's see. Okay. Yes, Ajiz. How? Just because I asked, convert into list. Then it will not be a set. Whenever you will convert it back to set, it will remove that duplicate member. Understand this, Aziz. You cannot get a set. You cannot get a set with duplicate member. Let's see. Let's go. Now we come to some new things. These are usually not taught in the classes, but I thought that I should teach each and every built-in command. It will be a very short lecture. So Python set intersection method. Guess the output. Intersection word we have already learned. What we are trying to do is x dot intersection y, means from with x and y, what is in the intersection, we should put it in z and print that as z. And I also want to know the type of z. Whatever will be printed, what will be the apple? Okay, and what will be the type of apple? What will be the type of apple? It will be set. It will be str. Apple set, str, set. Chalo, let's stop guessing. It will be a set. See, there is only one intersection, apple set. Now if we what we can do is, if we can put suppose banana also here, then there will be apple and banana randomly. Do not go on that this apple was first, banana was first, so that's why apple and banana. You never know sets. Means you cannot guess the output based on two items into it. There will be 1,000 items in a set, and it could randomly come at any point of time. Okay. So what it is printing out, apple and banana is here, apple and banana is also here. So it is discarding cherry, it is discarding Google and Microsoft, and it is just printing out the common ones, that is apple and banana of both, and it will be in a set. Even if there is single member, it will be a set. It will not be an str. Okay. Who said Tanishka said str? Okay. return a set that contains the item that exists in both x and y items. It is a property of this thing actually. Okay. Now there is another new method called Python set intersection update method. Now what is happening is here what we used to do, we did z and printed out z. Okay. So now what we are trying to do is we have a again a x, again a y. Now instead of using another new variable, we are using x dot intersection underscore update dot y. Means in the x, the value of x will be updated based on the intersection. So what will be the output of x? It will be apple, again a set. Okay. Remove the next we will move towards remove the item. You guys are getting this now? Am I going very fast or something? If anyone has any issue, किसी को कोई दिक्कत भाई? No, I think. Okay. So remove the item that is not present in both x and both set x and y. Now see, this is what it was. It was intersection method. Okay. These two, both of them are intersection method. Now what is set difference method? It will print out what? The difference between the two. Okay. Whatever is not present. So it is printing out what? It is printing out cherry, banana. Okay. But of x, not of y. If we'll move around, we will do y, sorry, y difference x. Means we are minusing, we are doing minus operation kind of thing. Okay. So it will print out Google and Microsoft. It is not printing out banana and cherry then. But Apple is present in both, so Apple is getting discarded in both the method. Okay. Same way, set difference update method works. What does set difference update method does? Instead of creating a new variable, we just update the value of x. Means the apple is now removed, only cherry and banana left out. Again, see the random, since it gives random outputs, banana goes at second point and cherry comes out. Now this is very important. Note there are other methods that can join two sets and keep only the duplicates or never the duplicates. So those of you who are saying that duplicates cannot exist in a set, so what is answer to you? This, there are other methods that can join two sets and keep only the duplicates or never the duplicate. Never the duplicates we see, almost we have seen, but keeping the duplicate is another method also. We can keep this apple only because it is present in both of them. Yes. How can we store that? Let's come to the point actually first, then we will move towards that. Let's complete a small things to those who are not again. You will change into the list Aditya, and then again if you will convert into the set, it will remove the duplicate item. If you want, I can show that process to you, or you can do that on your own. If you have written that x is equal to apple, banana and cherry a set, and then you convert it to a list, apple, banana and cherry, and then you convert into a list and insert another cherry. Okay, till list the cherry will be there. As soon as you will convert it back to the set, the cherry will be removed because it won't allow the duplicate members. See, what happens is that it index and saves that name, that as a variable name. Understand that what set do? Set saves that name and index, not index value, the value of every items. Okay, whatever is written there, and it keeps on comparing first one to the second one. That's why it's random. It randomly selects and randomly compares, and whenever a match is found from the first one to the second one or the third one or the fourth one, it removes that item so that only one can be there. Then it will check for the second, and it will check for the second to third, then it will check for third to the fourth. That's where it happens. Okay, then we will come to that point, but let's come to the copy method actually. Again, the copy method is simple. We have done that. There was a fruits set there. We just copied that fruit to the x and printed out another set that is now x, having the values the same, cherry, apple and banana, but in random order. Now understand it, Python set this joined method. returns true if no item in the set X is present in set Y. Okay, X apple, banana, cherry. Y is Google, Microsoft and Facebook. Now if we will try what it is saying, it will say true if no item in set X is present in set Y. There is no item present of X in Y, so it should return us true. But what will happen if we will put apple in here and we will try this again? So what it will do, it will return false, because there is one item of X is present in Y. One item of X is present in Y. एक item जो X का है वो present है Y में, that's why it is returning that it is false. Okay, that's why it is returning that it is false. There is another method, that is Python set subset method. It returns true if all the item of X are present in Y. Suppose it is A, B and C, and randomly somewhere here it is written A, B and C. So Y contains everything of X. So if we will do and run this, it will return true. But if we suppose remove A, if we will remove A, it will return false, because now C is one thing that is in X but not in Y. Why is this method very important? Because what will happen is when you will use sets into the programs, larger program, you will actually eventually like to check, means by putting into why we put something into set in while writing the program is we can handily check that we can remove the first duplicate items. We cannot, if it doesn't want, it's a one feature, then we can easily handle the data also, means we can check that this is this complete list, means our list, we will convert it to the set and check, compare it to another set. We will get to know that whatever is in that set is available in this set or not. So that way we will get to know that we have to keep that set or not. This is the application that I'm telling you, that where we use set, how we use set. And I already told you guys for this, for list and tuples, and I also told you that not understanding just the code, we have to understand that where is its application into the industry, why it will be used. So these are the features that we already know. We already have seen the things that using sets, these features we get, and using those features we can attain a lot of things. Okay, now next move to the next thing. Python is just like is subset. It same way as it could go be the superset. So if we will run this, it will run true. Yes, because if it returns true if all the items of set Y are present in set X, means whatever is the Y, it is present somewhere in the X, means in the reverse vice versa way, it will obviously return it will return true. If we will remove this C, if we will remove this C, then yes, it will be again true, because it still is there. If we remove B from here, suppose we will remove B from here, then it will be false, because subset, understand that it returns true if all the items of Y are present in X. Y is this smaller one, Y should be present in X, but the B is not right now present in X. That's why it is printing out the false statement. Okay. Now return a Python set symmetric difference method returns a set that contains all the item of both set except the item that are present in both set. Again, what it will do, it will print out cherry, banana, Microsoft and Google, will not print out apples. It is again the same thing, but we are getting a bigger set. There is another thing that we can do is a set symmetric difference update method. It removes the item that are present in both set and insert the item that is not present in both set. So what will be the output? It will be the again the same output, but the same thing is there is no new variable is defined. The X value is updated, means the Google and Microsoft moves to the X, and now X becomes cherry, banana, Microsoft and Google. Okay, so this is what till now. Okay, one last thing, like set constructor, we have already seen this double this, and there is a double bracket, and after that we have the item in that, and if we will print this as a set, the another new set will be created. It will not these two round bracket, and this set actually creates a set. Instead of this, if there will be a tuple, a tuple will be created. If a least will be created. We have already checked the least constructor. We have already checked the tuple constructor. Now we just seen the set constructor. So this much is clear to everyone. Any issues? I don't think so. Set is easier to understand. So again, just a roundup of what we learned. Set is a collection which is unordered, unindexed, and no duplicate numbers. In sets, in Python, sets are written with curly brackets. Its value are changeable. Row underscore one if apple, banana, and cherry. But since it is a square in a curly bracket, it could be a set or a dictionary. I'm telling you it's a set, but you can check it also. Now, since you know that if we print this and randomly something comes out, so it is unordered, unindexed, it will be a set. If there are no duplicate member, it could be a set, it could be anything else also. But I will show you that actually sets has this structure. Dictionary have very different structure. The dictionary has a very important another feature. Because of that, it cannot be a set cannot be a dictionary. Okay, and it cannot allow a duplicate member. Last thing, its values are changeable. We can there are methods that we can change, like we can add something into it, we can remove something from it. We can also convert it to a list, then add item. But remember, the adding of the item will again be random. The random features should be remembered everywhere. Let's do quick round up back to the codes. We seen this. Hold on. We check this that banana is present in this or not method. If banana is not present, it will return false. If it is present, it will return true. Then we try to change the item directly. It cannot be done, but we can change it by using a create, by converting it to a list. Okay, suppose those of you first change to list. Okay, so it will not let the duplicate members. Once the set is correct, one important thumb rule: once the set is created, you can change its item, but you can add in new items. Means new items can be added. It cannot be changed directly. It can be changed by changing it to a list. Okay, we talked about this heading and all. Then we learned about the add method. We learned about the update method. Both gives the same result. In the update method, we learned about one new thing, that if we pass something like a list inside the update method parameter, the it entire content will be added at random into the set, and it new set longer new set will be created. Okay, we can get the length with the len command as usual. Len command always works. Then remove command. In the remove command, we learned that if we use dot remove, and then we like suppose we write apple and we do apple, so the apple is removed and the remaining is now the set. Okay, we also learned that if the command, if it is not, if nothing is there, sorry, if nothing is there, then it creates an error. But then we learned about another new method called discard method. In the same way, it removes the element, but if it is not present, it print out the entire row or doesn't gives us an error. So both are handy sometimes. Then we learned about if the item to remove does not exist, discard will not raise an error. Okay, okay, we learned that already. Then we talked about the pop method. Pop method will remove the at random will remove the last one, but last one could be anything, so it could remove anything. So pop method usually not widely used. Then clear method clears the set and it gives an empty set. Then the del keyword we learned, where if we try to pass a parameter, it will not let us because it is unordered and unindexed again. There is a, when we try to if we remove this parameter and then try to print the row, obviously the row has been already, means the set has been already deleted, so how can it be printed? Then we turned about the join method using union command and update command. Again, both has the same same features. See the randomly it is creating it. There is no order to create that. Both will execute the, and both will exclude the duplicate. And I will give you this these actually Python notebooks so that you guys can also do that, play around with it. So actually, I think the last time I didn't give the of tuple, so I will provide each and everything in the group today. Then Python set intersection method we talked about. Set intersection method, what does it? Whatever is in the both of them, it prints out to a, it gives it to a new variable printout. Then we could talk about intersection update method. It updates the value of one of the set. Whatever is written here, like here X is written, so it will update and print it out. Then we similarly we talked about set difference method and set difference update method also. Difference method, what does it do? That whatever is not present in both, and it prints out that. No, we actually didn't discuss this. There are other method that join two sets and keep only the duplicates. We have skipped this. We will discuss it at the proper time. Okay, so don't worry, we will discuss that. And never the duplicates also. So there are methods where only the duplicates can be added, the join can be joined, and the set gets the duplicates only. Why don't you guys Google search it? Let me know. But obviously, I will teach it in some later classes. Like I haven't taught a lot of things because of those loops and other things. That's why I'm not teaching it. Then we talked about this copy method. This copy method just copies it. We talked about is this joint method. It checks. It works as a Boolean parameter. If no items of the set X is present in set Y, then it will return true, and if it is present, then it will return false. Is subset method is what? If X is a subset of Y, it will print true, and if not present, then it will return false. Is Python is a superset method. What it do? If Y is if all the items of Y is present in X, then it will print out true, and if it is not there, if one of item is not there, it will return false. Then we talk about last two methods, that is symmetric difference method and symmetric difference update method. What it does, it just removes the duplicate items and creates a new one with the non-duplicate ones. This Apple is present in both, so Google, Microsoft, Banana, and Cherry get printed and into a new set. In the update method, it doesn't get into a new set; it gets into the older set. If anyone can be, if we will write Y symmetric difference X, it will print out the same. It will print out cherry, apple, and banana only. Okay. Now. Set constructor method also we talked about. The set will print set round bracket two round brackets again creates a set. So this much is at what we have learned till now. So I think this is okay. So this is what the method is. All the methods that we have learned till now. Add method we learned clear. Obviously we did a computers. So tomorrow we will start with dictionaries. Straight away we will start with dictionaries. No, nothing new. Is there any questions? Okay, obviously some of you actually joined late, na? So today is very less participants are here. Why? What is happening? So guys, just control. These are your responses actually. So those who came late, I will tell you that those who joined in late, these answers I haven't checked since yes, this was also after 11, so I actually saw them doing. So on 11th, whoever done it, so you guys can do one thing, that these as you can check the answers here. that who's his rank. If you can go through with Vishal actually, or this one, this 33 number. This guy is Bhavesh Tiwari. Then there is Tanishka and someone else also. Yeah, Priya. Their answers are exactly same, but okay. Then this guy is awesome. You can talk to him. Then this is also good. This one is also good. This 19 number one. You can check these. How what kind of this Manish Arvind. I think he's from Chennai. Yeah, he's from Chennai, and I think he's a school student. So that's very good of him. I think someone called me from Chennai the day we started that we should do the classes in English. So thinking there are those. So go through these all types of solution. That what means why I've shared everyone's solution is that you know which solutions are correct or wrong. You can learn that to do one thing there could be an n numbers of method. Okay, there could be n numbers of method where we can do any kind of things. Means if we go to the Vishal's answers, he has answered for this question two methods actually. The fourth question one, he has answered two methods, and that's very prompt. That's very good. You should do this. Means I haven't taught while loop. It's not required essentially. You can go with the other command as well, like this one also. Okay, so there is one thing I will also say this. You guys do not work on notebooks actually. If you would have worked, you would have not written this capital P here. This capital P. I have to actually cross check each and everyone's code and correct it. Means I didn't do it, someone did it. She was telling me actually that I had to do this much. So that's not the way you should be a programmer. You should actually do things that are in proper manners. You should complete those things in a you should check your syntax that it is correct or not. Okay, so that's it. Aj, let's complete that for 10 minutes before, because I don't want to sir, actually I didn't Jupyter but auto capital first letter. Okay, yes, this might be a problem. Okay, yes, agree. Sorry, sorry from my side. I thought that this will not be a problem, so it's okay. That's not a big issue. So you guys should keep on doing the syntax and learning them. Some of you actually resubmitted the result also. So I have written like this: 2 is correct, means question number 2 is correct, 4 and 5 is wrong. In second attempt 4 is correct, 5 is still wrong. It means this. Then 2 right means question number 2 is correct. Second attempt all correct, but these answers are the most common. Who is this? Yes, this answer is the most common. You guys can see Sandeep Pal. No, I'm not blaming you, Sandeep. Everyone has this answer. Everyone has this answer. And you guys should check that actually you doesn't means a good programmer doesn't. I already told you that a good programmer doesn't writes too much amount of codes. Tomorrow, actually, I will introduce you to someone. He is a second year student in Punjab. Ankush Banik, his name is, and I will introduce you to today. Actually, he was about to join, but he has to go to due to some work, so he couldn't. Yesterday also he was waiting for me. So now today I had to wait for him. So with the issue in our, I have told you the issue in our last class. What Vishal? What issue? I forgot actually. I, okay, if you remember or if I remember, just message me on the WhatsApp. Okay, doesn't matter. I will. You had any issue actually? See, we have 8 or 9 minutes. Let's go to something. Those who are learning good and who are thinking good that they can do something good should go here. This HackerRank, very famous. Another one is CodeChef also. Then go to this Kaggle. Obviously, all for Kaggle you are not ready actually, but still let's go to Kaggle. But you have mentioned in notepad file. Okay, I will check. So what is HackerRank is, you can come up here and you can actually practice your own code. Means you can sign in here and you can start doing your code. I rank actually is, I think Recently someone or some of the student actually asked, I rank still I think 1000 something is my rank still. So, and I have not done for a lot of time. So you guys should come up here, check one or two questions also, at least you should be able to write. Okay. So this is one very good platform where you can check your coding skill. Questions are really good. With beginner level you can do, but later on it will get very tough. And it's means people usually on the resume write like to write their hacker ranks, like my hacker rank is this much, that much. This is kind of the things people. Voice is no clear, not clear. So this kind of things people. It's clear now. So this kind of things people usually do to learn more. To be a good programmer, you have to practice more and more and more. I cannot give on keeping the assignment. There are various assignments already there on an internet that you should do on your own. You have learned till least tuples and sets now. Find those questions, those you can solve and solve them. Okay. So this is how you should learn. HackerRank is and CodeChef also is a very good platform. Kaggle is the best platform, but you will guys will not be able to do it because this profile this is for mostly into data science. We should know something about machine learning, data science, now five pandas, logistic regression, uh, k-neighbor algorithms and all. And I will introduce you to one student of second year who is doing this kind of thing. And he has a very good story. He will take 15 minutes of your time, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And I will check. Let me know those of you who have problem with 2 hour classes. Otherwise, we will have a 2 hour classes most probably tomorrow, because dictionaries are very important. It's very important. Most probably, we will try to jump into loops as well. Okay, loops or conditional statement something. Okay. I will check that, Vishal. I know you are named something helmet in WhatsApp. I will check and will get back to you in WhatsApp. Okay. And if that thing is required to be told enough in the class, I will tell that tomorrow. Any other questions from today's class? चलो तो फिर खत्म करते हैं. Let's end this. Let's connect tomorrow. Okay. Bye bye.